So if you just find a position, something that's pretty comfortable for you, on your backs. If you'd like a little bit of support under your head, you could always have a cushion and just place it under your head, but it can be really nice just to let the spine release underneath you. Tuck your chin slightly and let the legs extend away from you. And just place one palm, your left palm on your chest, and your right palm just beneath your belly button, just above the pelvic area. And allow yourselves to breathe normally, but perhaps with more awareness. So hopefully as soon as you become more aware of your breath, you do lengthen those exhalations, something that you can take off the mat with you. We've got a little chalkboard in our kitchen and I've got written on it long exhales to remind me. But, you know, we know inside ourselves that these long exhalations, they trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, overriding fight, flight, or freeze. So hopefully here you are unnumbing yourselves. Very, very common for us to numb out how we're feeling. We push those feelings down when we go into our to-do lists. So let this be about thawing yourselves out slightly. So it's almost a Shavasana-like state you're in right now, but quite active, investigating with the breath how you're feeling and melting into the floor. Just a couple more breaths like this. And then bring the legs together and the arms stretch overhead. Take the left wrist in the right hand and just banana shape yourselves over a little bit to the left. So you stretch through the left side of the body. Breathe in and feel that openness in your left seams. And then exhale, come up to the center and swap wrists over. So take your thumb and your first finger, wrap it around your right wrist. Inhale and banana shape over to the right hand side. Point your toes and lengthen and just feel what this space feels like. This idea of growing and every time you breathe in, perhaps just kind of like the sensation of cracking open areas that become dry and depleted. And then place the soles of the feet on the ground and bring the heels in close enough so that you can tickle them with your fingertips. Your feet want to be parallel. And then press your belly button into the ground. Again, tuck your chin. So keep your gaze upright and extend your palms down either side of the body and press the palms into the mat. So just hold this for a moment. Inhale. And keep pressing everything down into the mat as much as you can. And then on your exhale, see if you can just float your hip bones and tilt your pelvis upwards off the mat slightly. And then the rest of the spine can easily follow. So keep looking upright, avoid looking left or right at this moment. And when you're at the base of that exhalation, keep your knees drawing together, your thighs want to be parallel. Inhale the arms up over the head. And take hold of the palms, reverse them and draw them away from you. So you're getting that nice openness through the chest and the shoulders, as well as the thighs. So push the knees away from you. And on the next exhalation, I want you to think about each vertebra of your spine as a pearl on a necklace and lay that necklace down one pearl at a time onto the mat. And if you're anything like me, you'll feel a really nice release in your thoracic spine with the arms still overhead, or as you lay the spine down. Oh, fantastic. Okay, let the arms come to the side, and you want to extend them out to the side and just let the legs fall left and right. So a little massage through the hips here. If you've been sitting down a lot, that should feel pretty good. And then we're going to let the knees fall over to the left hand side. So take the gaze over to the right palm and place the left palm on top of the right knee, just to heavy that down. Your shoulders want to be making good contact with the floor here. If you want a little bit more, you can catch your right toes in your left hand and extend your right heel away from you. So your right leg is stretching straight, but your left leg is still bent. Okay, and then very gently release and perhaps support your knees as they come up to center. Your gaze goes up to the center and then let the knees fall over to the opposite side. So your right hand side this time, the right palm comes on top of the left knee. Gaze over to the left palm, left shoulder heavies down into the ground. And then if you want to go a little bit further, draw that left knee in towards you so you can catch the left toes with the right hand and push that right heel away from you. Oh, it opens up the back seams of the legs very nicely, or the left leg very nicely. Enjoy this twist, this ringing through the organs, the spine, and then draw the knees back up to the center. Perhaps a couple of little circles with the knees, so draw them down through the midline and then away from each other to meet at the top. Down through the midline away, and then circle them up to meet at the top. And then reverse, so separate the knees and draw them towards you and together in front of the chest. Then let them rise up together and separate them one more time. So 3 circles in each form. And then we're going to rock and roll forwards and backwards. If that's nice for you, see how that feels. If you're getting any bumps or jitters, that's where your spine needs a little bit more focus. So I'm getting like lumbar spine, like here is not great. I keep bumping over that, so I'm going to aim for that area next time. Lovely. Then come upright. I'm just going to swap round because it feels more normal for me to be facing this direction. And just really hug yourself. So draw the knees into the chest, wrap your elbows around you, and use your strength to embrace yourself. So feel that you're building something here. Bring your intention to show yourselves some empathy. How much empathy have you got for yourselves? You might be surprised. Oh, you know, either way. So swap the cross of the arms over, and then again, build in that strength. Build in that intention. Lovely. I'm going to just take the legs behind us onto all fours. So palms want to be underneath the shoulders. And we're going to lift up the right leg and then lift up the left palm and see if you can use your palm to estimate how flat your hips are behind you. So can you feel if your right hip is drawing up? So you use that palm to get to know the back side of your body that you can't really see. I suppose when you look at the screen, you might be able to see that. That would be quite interesting. And then extend the left arm forward. So you've got this feeling of drawing forwards and back. Engage with that sensation as you inhale, and then as you exhale, roll forward so the elbow and the knee meet. You can even draw the forehead in. Inhale, extend. You might feel some wobbles here, that's fine, stick with it. Exhale. One more time, reach, inhale, forwards. And exhale, roll the spine, the knee, the elbow and the forehead. And release down. Have a bit of a wriggle, maybe draw some circles with your hips. Whatever to you feels right as a counter to what you've just done. So perhaps moving your hips forwards and back towards your heels. And then we're obviously going to reverse that. So extend the left leg out behind you. Get some stability in your upper body. So place your Palms underneath your shoulders, and then take your right palm to your hips and see if you can use that to read the information on the back of the body. Extend the right arm forwards, the left leg back. Point the toes, point the fingers. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, roll. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, roll. One last time. Inhale, lengthen, make it count. Hold with the abs. Exhale, roll. Place the palms and walk them forward slightly. Lower down onto your forearms. Tuck the toes. We're going to come into puppy. So it's very much like downward facing dog. Lift up your hips, but your weight is in your forearms. Paddle through in your first downward dog variation and extend through the backs of the legs. Then rise up into downward facing dog. Check that your ears are in line with your arms. Your feet want to be about hip width apart. That's the distance of 2/5. Often people grossly over-exaggerate the width of their hips. Check that that's not you. Inhale, look towards your palms and calmly walk your feet towards the front of the mat. Bend the knees. Sit down into your imaginary chair. Let the arms come forward. Inhale and look as you spread the arms forwards and upwards to where your fingertips are pointing. Inhale, lift your belly away from your thighs. Exhale, see if you can sit a little lower. Round belly out. Scoop it like you've got an ice cream scoop. And then inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, release. Into Tadasana. So just have a bit of a shake, ease through the body. The idea is not to build tension in your body in yoga, it's to ease it. So if you feel yourselves building up lactic acid in your arm and calves particularly, just have a bit of a bend through those areas in between the postures. I'm not a dictator, I might sound like it, but I want you to move freely. And I hope that you feel you can in these sessions. So let's come into Tadasana and just feel how we are in the shoulders. So draw the ears right up to the shoulders and hold it for a few moments. Build tension, okay? Because the nicest thing is when you release it, and you feel that gap growing between the ears and the shoulders. One more time. Really get in there. No neck, no neck, no neck. And release. Lovely. Let the arms fall by the side. We're going to inhale and draw up, out of the waist, out of the pelvis. Exhale, fold forwards, and then take the hands behind you, interlace them, and draw them down as if they're going to touch the floor behind your head. And here as well, what is your wriggling potential? So perhaps you can let your shoulders release a little bit more if you wriggle left and right, and just let your arms dangle like this. Maybe take the gaze up a little bit higher. How does that change the posture and the feeling? How do you feel when you're folding forwards? Is it pleasant or unpleasant? Maybe a mixture of the two. What feels pleasant? What feels unpleasant? Which line of investigation are you most interested in? Are you a pleasure seeker? Or are you looking to confront some challenging tension or areas of depletion? Release the hands, so bring them down the outsides, the backs of the legs, and just gently massage through the backs of the legs, right to the ankles. And check in with your feet. So just maybe draw your toes up and place them down on the mat so that your toes are spread a little bit further. Inhale, halfway lift. So take the shins, the palms to the shins, lift the back, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and the gaze is forward. And then exhale, fold down and step back. So lower the knees. We're going to come into an adapted sun salutation A first. Lower the chest and the chin and let the legs spread out. So we're going to practice a few different prone postures here. Activate the spine. First of all, press the toes into the mat, lift the knees, and inhale into cobra. Hold it here. So your breath is going to feel different. You're compressing your lungs. Inhale. See if you can draw your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale. If you're feeling tightness in your lower back, just wiggle and jiggle your glutes around, your bums around, and release the tension there. Inhale. Extend your arms behind you. So you're Superman. You're flying. Exhale. Press the toes into the mat. And then finally, inhale, lift the feet off the mat. Exhale, 2 more breaths. Zip the legs together, keep the gaze as your strength point. Inhale. Exhale. Fingertips active, toes active. Inhale. And exhale. You can release the legs, place the palms underneath the shoulders as they were, and then come back into an extended child's pose. So if you prefer, if you've got need more space, and I prefer it, you can let your knees come wide and your toes together. Inhale here. Exhale. Now we're going to do thread the needle with the arms. So I'll turn to face you. We're going to place the weight into the right arm, forearm. Inhale and open up with the left arm. Reach up, so feel length and lift in the waist. And then exhale, bring the palm, the left palm underneath the right arm, thread it through, and let your left ear rest on the ground. And then peel the right arm up. So you're twisting on your shoulder, you sort of get this nice release in the neck and shoulder, hopefully. Again, what potential do you have for wriggling and jiggling here? If you want to, you can bend the elbow and release the right palm. Perhaps take a hold of your left thigh. And then you can really just relax your gaze along the floor. Come into your breath. One more breath here. And when you're realizing you need an inhale, draw your right arm up and forward. Prop yourself up on your right forearm, unravel your left arm from underneath and get ready to do this on the opposite side. So you inhale and draw the right arm up, twist through the waist, weave the right arm underneath the left forearm, ear on the mat. Inhale, draw the left arm up and open. Exhale, bend at the elbow and take a hold of your right thigh with your left palm. And then come back to your breath. Nice belly breath, please. Does that feel good to you? If your breath is in the throat or the chest, soften that breath. Treat it kindly. You'd ideally want it to get a bit further down. Unravel your left arm. Let the left forearm come down onto the ground so you can place and wait for it. And you can unhook your right arm. And we're going to place our palms down for downward facing dog. And then walk calmly, collectedly towards your palms. Inhale, lift up. Palms to shins, gaze forward. Exhale, release. And then bend through the knees. Inhale, lift up, look up, stand up. Release the palms, Tadasana. Inhale, draw the belly in. Let the arms come wide, sit down into your imaginary chair. Lift up, belly away from thighs, palms up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, fold forward. We're going to step back into plank now. So if you want to lay your knees down, you can, otherwise take the full plank. Lower down. And then option to inhale, draw up into upward facing dog, or if you prefer, come to cobra. Roll over your toes now into downward facing dog. Find your breath, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, take the weight into the left leg and draw the right knee towards the chest. Come up onto your left tiptoes and see if you can propel your right foot in between your palms. Allow your left foot to turn out to roughly 10 o'clock. See if you can step a bit wider on your mat for warrior one. So draw your left foot hip forwards, bend into the front knee about 90 degrees. And then see if you can draw your lower ribs in. That's one thing I'm working on. Check your right knee tracks over your second toe. Inhale, draw your arms up. Exhale, let the shoulders draw down to the waist. We're slowing this sun salutation down to hanging warrior one for a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Press the outer edge of the left foot into the mat. Draw the left hip forwards, the right hip back. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Release the palms either side of the front foot. And we take another vinyasa. So that step back into plank. Lower down. Keep the elbows tucked into the side body. Inhale. Maybe close your eyes to drink up that inhalation and upward dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here to have a rest. If you want to drop to your knees and come into child's pose, you can do that, of course. Maybe make some sounds as you breathe. Relax. Take the weight into the right leg. Draw the left knee into the chest. Come up onto the right tiptoes. Propel your body forward so that left leg can come over. Maybe move it over to the left side of the mat slightly. Ground the right foot down, pointing at roughly 2 o'clock. And then swivel your hips forward so that they're parallel to the front of the mat. So maybe you need to shorten and widen your stance to guarantee that. It does not matter what your shape looks like. It's where your hips are. So everybody then, doesn't matter where your feet are, press into the outer edge of the right foot. 90-degree bend in the left leg. Knee tracks over the second toe. Inhale the arms up, and this time we're going to take either opposite elbow behind the back or reverse prayer, leading up the spine. So we're opening through the chest. 3 breaths here. 2 more. That's how slow my breaths are. Slow breaths down. No hurry. 1 more breath. Inhale. Lovely. Exhale, release the palms. 1 more vinyasa, everyone. Come on. Let's do this. So plank, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now you can choose, you can walk, step, or introduce a little bunny hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sit down into your chair. Inhale the arms forwards, lift them up, lift the belly up, push through the feet, and come to stand. Standing at the front of your mat, I'm just turning so that you can see what I'm going to do. We're going to place the weight, first of all, into the right leg. So you want to have that leg straight and strong as possible. Draw up the right thigh. The right kneecap will follow. And draw the knee into the chest. So the left knee comes up either towards the chest or the armpit, whichever is more available to you, favorable to you, feels better. Then see if you can drop the right hip, because it's quite common to kind of cock the right hip up as if you're going to take a pee against a tree, like a puppy. See if you can draw the inner thighs together. That should help. Does that help? Then we're going to rotate that knee out to the side, so rotating the hips, and come into tree. So take the sole of the foot either into the thigh or the shin, or if you prefer, your toe can be
just gracing the ground around the ankle. If you're up for a massive challenge, you can come into half lotus. So you just laying the outer edge of the left foot on the hip crease. And then bring the palms into Anjali Mudra. So tuck your chin. See if you can draw your shoulders over your hips, your ears over your shoulders. And ultimate challenge, close your eyes. If you fall out, come back in. Oh, wobble, wobble. Lovely. Let's all inhale and take the branches wide. Bring them up high. And then reverse the palms, they face down to the floor. Exhale, imagine the falling leaves of the tree just coming right down. Lovely. Then release the foot, but draw the knee back up towards you. Release the legs down. Okay. Great. I'm going to swap over. So then draw down the right knee up into the chest and come into that straight standing left leg. Now we're going to keep that knee bent and tilt from the pelvis. Extend your arms out to the side and let that left leg take flight. Turn the left knees down, the left toes down towards the ground. So you're flexing the foot. And then again, bring your left palm to your hips and see whether you can draw your hips parallel to each other. Support from the abdomen. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. You're doing great. Don't grip with your right toes. I was. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the right leg and step back with the left leg. We're going to come into high lunge. So you want your toes still pointing forwards. Your heel lifts. Really bend into front knee. And you don't want it to be over the ankles, so maybe you need to take a little bit of a longer stance. Draw the left hip forwards. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale, sink a bit lower. Inhale. Sink a little lower. Inhale, reach up, let the shoulders drop down, sink a little lower, and then finally let that back knee find the ground. Untuck the toes, interlace the fingers and draw back towards your left heel. Look up. Exhale and release back. Inhale. Exhale. Place the palms, fingertips pointing down on the bottom of the lumbar spine. Take the weight out of the right foot and let the knees come together. So we're going to come into camel. It's a strong pose. Come in bit by bit with me and see where's best for you. Tuck the toes to lift the heels. If your knees are a little bit sensitive, just double up your mat or triple up your mat by creating a fold like that. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a lot more comfortable. So palms either side of the spine, fingertips pointing down. You're supporting your lumbar spine. Stick your hips out and forwards and draw your elbows towards each other. Inhale, lift the chest. This might be enough. Exhale. So gaze is about where the wall and the ceiling meet again. If you want a bit more, see if you can find your heels. One at a time, so you keep support on the lumbar spine. If you can, you may be able to drop your head back. As you inhale, push your hips forwards. Exhale. So wherever you are, 2 more breaths. Intense. Big emotional releases apparently in this posture. Is that true for you? Nothing wrong with you if not. Maybe we're just not used to recognizing it. To come out, release one heel at a time, place the fingertips to support the lumbar spine. And then roll down and come back into child's pose. So again, toes together, knees apart, this time for everyone. And let your forehead make good contact with the ground. Have a rest here. So relax, melt down. Feel any shakiness, if your breath is uneven, release all that. So you're this brave hero, you've been on an intense journey so far, but we're about to gather the strength we need to take back our treasure to our communities where we started. So we need to steady ourselves and be sure of what we've gathered. Let's all inhale and take a look towards our palms, tuck the toes, in downward facing dog just for a moment, and then walk up to the top. So we're going to reiterate what we've just done on the opposite side. Inhale, draw up, and then exhale, release. At the top of your mat, take the weight into the left leg. Inhale the right knee up, and then externally rotate and come into your tree. So find your drishti point. Everyone smile. Send such good vibes to anyone who's in your space, or especially to you. And then to me if I can see, would be nice. Okay, so close your eyes. That's the challenge here. Remember, if you want to, you can try half lotus. Draw your knees together if you're practicing that. So when your eyes are closed, you become aware of these movements. They're always there. But because our attention is in, we really notice them. Open the eyes, inhale and draw the arms up. Open to the top. Reverse the palms to face the ground, and then exhale, let the arms come down. Lovely. Inhale and draw that knee in for a squeeze, and exhale, release it down. And then swap over onto the standing leg. Now taking the weight onto the right side. Inhale the left knee up towards the armpit. And then keep that left knee in as you exhale and tilt your pelvis so that your upper body becomes parallel to the floor. Again, check your hips so I can feel my right hip is really a lot higher than my left hip here. So I'm going to have to use my abdominal muscles to counter that. You all have abdominal muscles, by the way. Sometimes I'm not sure I do, but I know I do. Just need to get them awake. Then point the right toes down towards the ground. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, come into the high lunge with the left knee in front. So that's a graceful little jump back from your warrior 3 pose, warrior 3 variation. So for high lunge, your hips, again, they want to be equal. So draw your right hip forward, your left hip back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, shoulders down, hips down. Inhale, belly away from thighs. Arms up, shoulders down, hips down. One more time. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, drop the shoulders, the hips, and finally the knee. So you're coming down. Maybe you want to just bring that knee so that it's perpendicular to the floor. Interlace the palms. See if you can interlace them in the opposite direction. And lean back. So you want to keep the strength in your lumbar spine here, just like we do in camel. Don't collapse into your lower back. So engage the navel and lift out of the back. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Release the palms. Now, I hope that you've got something near you in case you might need it. So it might be a cushion. Maybe it's a bolster or a block if you've got the yoga kit with you. But just something just in case. Not everyone will need it, but my bet is most of us will. We're going to come into Virasana, which is hero pose. And it's a little bit creaky on the knees. So if you are feeling your knees are not up for this, then you can come into camel again. So Virasana, if you sit on your mat and make sure your knees are together and your feet wide apart. So the reason for that is you're going to lower down in between your feet. Okay, this is the first time you've done it. Virasana pose, hero pose takes some courage, but it also does make you feel very brave if you do it. So if you want to already anticipate that you may not be able to reach the mat behind you, place your cushion there, and then you ease back in. So as you lower down in between your heels, you may just want to gently massage your calves away from you. Now, the thing with this pose, there's quite a few things with this pose. You want to have the calves out of the way, and then you want to be able to walk the heels back in towards your hips. So you don't want your feet sort of splaying too far out to the side. It's pretty tricky, you know. And also it's challenging when somebody's sitting here telling you it's tricky. Also, I find it quite challenging on the tops of my feet. I find the skin gets a bit caught. So if I lift up and just ease the skin on the tops of my feet, that feels better too. So if you're in that posture and your sit bones are on the mat and you're not on a prop, you can go a bit deeper. If you are on the prop, then do as I'm doing right now. Take your hands behind you and prop up. And prop yourselves up. So if I show you as such. So if you're on a prop, this is how I want you to be. If you are not on the prop and your sit bones are honestly on the floor in between your feet, then take your palms to the soles of your feet, lower down little by little onto your forearms, walk your elbows forwards and come down onto your shoulder girdle. And that is Virasana, and that is a knock at my door. So we're just going to take, if you are here, you take the elbows over the head, see if you can relax the glutes, keep the knees together. And to come out, push into the elbows and walk up, and everybody come into child's pose as a counter posture once again. So a wide leg child's pose, toes together, knees mat wide.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. There you go. All right. So walk yourselves back up from your child's pose and just stretch out. So you're going to stretch your right leg out, push the heel away from you. It's really nice to do this after that strong posture, strong compression in your knees. And then bring your other leg to join. So you're in a plank. Hold it and just enjoy the length that you have in your body now. So these oppositions that you create, do they increase your sense of potential? I hope so. Draw your hips up into downward facing dog. And then walk your feet, have them up towards the palms. And come to sit down. And take another more gentle embrace of yourselves now. So this hero returning home, what are you bringing back with you at the end of your practice? Maybe take a few little rocks forwards and backwards before you allow yourselves to settle your spine, your shoulders and your hips on the floor. Keep your knees into your chest for the moment. Then drop your left sole of the foot down with your left knee bent and take your right ankle over your left thigh. And then see if you can already, using the muscles in your hips, push your right knee away from you. So you're creating a flatter triangle with your legs. Do you feel that engagement? Draw the belly into the floor and then lift the left foot off so that your left thigh comes a bit closer and that whole structure comes towards you. Reach your right palm in between your legs inside that triangle to underneath your left knee.
Take your left arm on the outside, interlace the fingers, and come into what we call supine pigeon. So relax your ankles, maybe draw little circles with them, left and right. Keep that right knee drawing away from you. As you inhale, really roll your lumbar spine down into the mat. Good. Inhale, fill the belly with air. And then on the next exhalation, see if you can bend at the elbows and just draw that triangle of legs towards you. Relax the feet, relax the ankles. Basically, it's just your tailbone pressing into the mat and your elbows bending that are active right now. You get a nice release in the hips. Do this once or twice a day. You're sitting down, or even if you're standing up, actually. I don't know how you do it. Honestly, wow. Okay. So then release, let that right knee come off the left thigh, the left knee. Maybe do a little forward and backwards release with the knees so that your spine gets a little massage in the mat. And then pick up the left leg and we reverse. So you make the triangle with the left leg over the top of the right knee. The left hand comes inside the structure made with your legs. The right hand goes outside and you interlace the fingers, maybe in the opposite arrangement. So opposite thumb on top. Relax your right leg down. Let your left knee draw away from you. Inhale, press the lower lumbar spine into the mat. Fill the belly with air. Relax the feet, gaze upwards, chin tucked. Exhale, activate the elbows. Keep the tailbone pushing down into the ground. So whenever you inhale, you may feel that your legs pull away from you a little bit as your belly fills with air. That's great. Go with that, but as you exhale, see about pushing the air out of the rib, out of the lungs, and bringing that arrangement closer towards you. And that will intensify the stretch, the hips, the glutes, that whole region that you might be on a lot if you're using a chair in your office. It needs a bit of TLC. And you can provide it for yourself. It's super nice to have someone else do it too. Okay. So let's just bring the knees back into the center, so they're symmetrical. Maybe keep the knees together, but this time and draw circles. Anti-clockwise 3 times, and then clockwise 3 times. And then come into a place that you would like to take for your Shavasana. So extend the legs. I'm going to just show you a sort of propped way. I don't know if you've got a bolster, but this is just maybe for inspiration. You can take your you can take a bolster or a cushion underneath your spine and it lifts up through the chest. So a bolster, you can buy them from just a quick Google, you'll be able to see they're available now. The advantage of this, you can lie, you can relax, and you just feel your shoulders draping down. Your rib cage can expand, and with my feet in Supta Baddha Konasana, my hips are getting a wonderful stretch too. So that's just a little promo. I don't have a link, I'm not paid, but it's just a nice little addition where you can go with your relaxation. Anyway, wherever you are, I want you to think back to the beginning of the class, the beginning of the journey that we've been on. And what sort of feelings and emotions and sensations did you honestly hold in you then? Have you felt a change in yourselves? So all heroes go on a journey. I wonder if you feel like a hero today, what has changed and how has it changed? And perhaps, hopefully, you have released some barriers or overcome some obstacles. or explored uncharted territory? Which parts of you are uncharted territories? Which areas of you are you neglectful of, maybe not willingly or knowingly? Did you find any of those areas in your practice? Take yourself to those areas now as you relax. And see if you can maybe add those to the map that you have of yourselves. And what sort of feelings and emotions can you attach to that journey that you found, that place that you've discovered? And as you get ready to end the journey, relax your eyebrows and your gaze behind your lowered lids. Relax your jaw and your mouth. Feel yourselves not simply as vessels carrying things, but appreciate your vehicle. The information that you have stored in you is part of you. Honor that. What is it that you will bring back from your journey? Have a moment or two where you allow your mind to completely relax. Any other thoughts can hold on for a moment and wait. The blank page, the tabula rasa. Allow yourselves to be free and full of potential here. Then gradually build yourselves back up bit by bit and feel the difference, having acknowledged and noted your journey, the sensations that you've discovered. So extend your legs, point your toes, let your arms come overhead. Wake up through the body. As you get ready for your afternoon session, roll on to your sides and gently come up to C-sit. And we'll close the practice as usual with our 3 breaths. Inhale, draw up, look up. Draw in your courage. Exhale through the midline. Take it in. Lovely. Inhale, draw up. Take in your progress. Lovely. Exhale, release through the midline. Hold it there. One last breath. Inhale, draw up, look up. And then moment's thought to your ongoing journey. Exhale. Come back into the moment. Gently, with awareness. Namaste. May the light in me honor the light in you. Thank you for joining.